NCM. Is that okay? Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
What's your general experiences over the years? Is it improved or anything within your company or anything? Is it different from past years? When it
Yeah,
comes
it's
to you.
well, it's got way bigger. When I started, it was just one hall, and the queue went through the middle corridor down the center of the building, and obviously now it takes over pretty much the whole building, and they've changed where the queue is. So when I started, it was down the middle, and then they've put it like in individual halls. At one point, it was down the side outside the building. I think they've pretty much got that covered now. It seems to be working quite well, I think, in the halls where they put it. Um, and like getting in and out has changed a bit over the years, but I think they've got it all right at the moment. I admittedly haven't had to queue up for the last few because I usually get a press pass, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard many people complaining about it, so I think it's all right.
The only thing, obviously.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so getting bigger, better, I think. More expensive, of course, but
Yeah.
there's the big change with the fences around the outside now, which I think is a good thing if it's helping to stop litter and all that sort of stuff that was really bad afterwards. And I think it's helped stop that. So yeah,
Exhibition's good. All that stuff for you. Did you go around much? Obviously you didn't. Because,
yeah, I went around a little bit. I went around a bit on Friday and a bit right at the end on Sunday. I didn't get to see absolutely everything, but got a good look round, bought some stuff. So yeah, it was good. I was really glad to see the official Blizzard stall. I hope they bring that back every time.
oh, really?
Definitely buy stuff from that. Yeah,
I,
getting the statues is way cheaper than buying them online because you don't have to pay for customs and shipping and all that stuff.
yeah.
So it was good for that.
I guess that's enough of MCM. I guess. I guess we. Well, you do a lot of photography. I've just started to do a tiny little bit. Obviously. Yeah. Let's go
Hmm.
through couple of little subjects. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. What do you enjoy about photography? Number one.
I started photography because I wanted to be able to take photos that I would really like for other cosplayers and be able to give them basically all the rights to the photos because I really love working with photographers that do that, that allow you to edit the photos or whatever. And I don't expect this from photographers, and I know that most don't work like that, but I really like it when they do. So I wanted to be able to give that to other people. So that was kind of why I started it because I wanted to give that to them. So yeah, that's pretty much what I enjoy if someone gets a photo back and they say they really like it or whatever. And, you know, things like if they use it as a profile picture or cover photo or something, that always means a lot.
I had that once with a katana. It was quite good. I think. But anyway. All right. Okay. How do you go about selecting particular ones and your ideas behind it? Are they quite spontaneous, or is it pre-planned, or is it in your head?
Um,
Like, do you go a
I
little bit like, I want this type of shot, I want this type, like, no.
is I just do it at the time,
Yeah, good.
spontaneous. If I like, just sort of look at the costume. If I know the character, maybe suggest a pose the character might do. If not, just try and think of something that looks like it might suit the character, and usually say to them like, "Have you got any poses?" And then sort of walk around them and see what angles look good. I never really plan things ahead of
No,
time. If the cosplayer has done, then I'll do what they want. But I'm not really one for planning. I just do it at the time.
I have to do that next time because the characters were so alien to me, half of them.
Yeah.
Really
Well,
difficult. And it's
it's obviously good if you do know the character, but like if not, you can always just memorize some generic like sword poses, staff poses if you don't have a prop, and just get them to do that if they don't have anything.
this is one that, because when you look back, you realise obviously mistakes you make, right? You always
Mm.
learn from your mistakes in life, no matter what. And I went there because Birmingham, I had a lens with nothing in the background. I couldn't do anything. It was just a standard lens. And when I got this one with bokeh, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm just learning. I don't know.
I'm,
But
I'm not sure.
no, the background blur. You know that thing, bokeh, is it?
Oh, I thought it was pronounced Buka, but I'm not sure.
Buka,
I'm
buka.
not sure I've ever actually heard anyone say it,
Oh
so I
really?
don't know.
Okay. I just because
That's just how I read it, so I don't know. I could well
right.
be wrong.
Yeah. So you kind of watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and that becomes a common theme. So you become a bit obsessed with
Mm.
that. But
Mm. Uh,
what I'm
yeah,
trying to
I just
explain,
always make sure that I have the lowest aperture, and
yeah,
that does enough.
I know it's a really weird point I'm trying to make, but what I'm trying to say is the fact that I looked at other people's photos around and around, and some of the backgrounds just they worked so really well, and it was just a shame to take it out of them. But that was my biggest thing for me. 95% of my pictures were just flat backgrounds, and I need to stop that. So I'm just saying, bokeh, it's good, but in my opinion, it's not as necessary as every single picture. I don't know about you. Do you agree or not? Like,
I will always have it
oh,
if
yeah.
you can, unless
All right.
unless like the background is part of the picture. So like if you
Yeah.
were if you were like taking a picture like inside in a room or something, like if the character was a princess and they were in like a sort of castle or something and the background was part of it, then I wouldn't do it. If the background was close to the person, if they were sitting in a chair with a wall behind them, then I wouldn't. It would be really hard to do that because it's so close. But if you're outside, then unless the background is like a focus, like a part of the picture, I will always try and have it blurred, because I think you want the focus to be on certainly in cosplay, you want the focus to be on the subject.
Yeah, the reason I made this point was because I'll make this point one more thing about this is because I was on the boat with them and we were down the stairs and my lens could not catch the whole width and keep them in focus because it was just and I'm trying to say, like, and I said to him, does it matter the background blur? Because I was doing that because my other lens stretched further and all that, and I'm just making a point that, like you said, in sometimes some generic things when the background makes a lot of difference. But anyway, that's all right. But
I think if you're inside, then it's a lot harder to get that blur and kind of better if you don't have it, because the inside is just so much closer than if you're outside, so it's different. But and because in somewhere like the yacht, the background is going to be very much part of the environment, part of it. Whereas if you're just like in a forest or something, I think you want it to be a bit more blurred.
It was so difficult, the lighting in there. But anyway, anyway, sorry. All right. I'll ask you something. Can you give honest answers, please? Right. Best place you've ever shot, then, yourself, like, in terms of posing and from both sides of the camera. Let's say that. Yeah.
So, like, best location.
Well, what you feel like? Yeah. I guess best location for you that you.
Okay, so there's a location that I shoot at quite a lot. I was there last weekend doing a shoot, so I've done it both as a cosplayer and a photographer, called Waverley Abbey in Farnham, even down in Surrey. And it's some ruins, and you've got like a bit of forest around it, and it's really easy to get to. There's a car park there, and it's usually quite quiet. So I always like going there because ruins look really good for like most characters. I mean, unless you're from like a sci-fi, but I tend to do fantasy stuff, so ruins always works well for me. And it's got loads of just like foresty bits if you just want more like forest stuff. So that tends to be where I go a lot.
Steampunk then, was it for that one?
No, I wouldn't take steampunk there. I don't think it's very like steampunk. You want sort of city built up industrial stuff. This is like forestry and that sort of thing. So it works more for like fantasy characters and just anyone that would be in a forest, really.
Okay, no problem. And the best place? Oh, that's the best place you've shot and been shot at. The boat,
probably. There's also Farnham Park, which I've shot in, which was really nice. We got some really good photos from that.
Down near Southampton, isn't it? Around them down there, wasn't it?
Vaguely. I think Southampton.
Near there, so,
Hang on. Where is Southampton? I should know. I used to like live vaguely in that area. Yeah, Southampton is quite a bit more south than that.
But
it's more southwest. I mean, it's vaguely. It's the same area of the country.
Okay, all right. And the worst, both parallels, please.
Worst place to shoot.
For both sides.
I mean, either side, it's going to be the same answer, to be honest. But Olympia, it's a centre that conventions are often held in, and unless your character suits being on a road, there's basically nowhere to shoot. It's literally just a building on a road, and at least when I went there, I could find nowhere interesting to do photos. Like outside, there's just a road. I think there might have been like a bit round the side that I saw some people going to that I didn't know how to get there. That might be more interesting, so I might be wrong here. But when I went, there was just nothing. So I tend to avoid going to cons in Olympia now because there's just nowhere to get photos.
Is that what it's called?
Oh, what? Sorry?
It's called Olympia Con then? Is that what it's called?
No, Olympia is the venue.
Yeah, but what's the con called then?
Well, different cons hold. So like Hyper Japan has been there, LFCC has been there.
Okay, sorry, I thought it was like Birmingham and that. I thought it's anyway. Okay, all right. And the really cool, really thing you love most editing. take a few
Mhm.
notes about that. All right.
Okay.
How do you approach that then? Start off with that.
I usually start. So first, I'll open it in from Bridge, and I'll just like usually up the contrast depending on
I mean, the
if it's.
mentality. Like, do you go there?
Oh,
Like, when you're taking a picture, do you have a thing like in your already? You know what you're going to do with that already. Like, do you go
very
through things?
rarely.
I know, but
I tend to do the same,
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much the same editing with all pictures.
I
Just
do.
yeah, like up the contrast, make sure it's like colorful, unless the character would particularly suit a more like somber atmosphere. Like make sure the background is darker, the subject is lighter. Remove all flaws if unless they particularly want it. I usually get rid of bags and spots and stuff like that. And everyone looks perfect in anime and games, and therefore everyone must look perfect in my photos.
Not the real world, I'm
Um,
afraid. Sorry.
yeah, fix any flaws on the outfit. So like if there's any hair showing through the wig, get rid of that, or like safety pins or Velcro or anything like that, I'll get rid of.
So you're right. Is that? I don't obviously do what you do. Yeah, I just come
Mm.
in, I take an interest, But is it something you have to do what you do to generally see that type of stuff? Because I don't know whether your hair's out or something, whether it's too long, whether it's too late.
I mean, you can obviously if someone's got
Yeah,
a
obvious
blonde
stuff.
wig on
But
and you can see their brown hairline, like that's not right, or at least it's probably not right. There probably aren't many characters that have
yeah,
like a weird sort of receding blonde hairline, but I think it does. I think it helps both, obviously, if you know the character and if you cosplay. I think I've noticed, in general, not like always, but cosplayers who are like photographers who are also cosplayers tend to notice those things more. But it honestly, like cosplayers, we tend to be our own worst critics, so we'll notice all of the flaws in our outfit that no one else would ever notice. And
mm,
I mean, I've edited photos, and as I say, I usually tend to get rid of this stuff, but even still, like sometimes people say, oh, there's a bit here that's not meant to be there that I just hadn't even noticed when I was editing it.
and
So
you go back
yeah,
and do it again, though. Yeah, you go.
I'd
Yeah, of
go
course.
back and
Yeah,
fix it for them. um so yeah, I always there's a bit of a divide in like whether or not you change things like that. I personally always do it because I think it kind of depends if your photo is because you want to like capture the costume or because you want to make a picture of what the character would look like if they were real. And I think for capturing, personally at least, for capturing the costume, I upload like time lapses and work in progress photos and as many things like that as I can to document like how I made
mm,
it and the reality of it. Whereas when I go to a location and I do a photo, I'm trying to create something that looks more like if that character was real. So
yeah,
I would, just as I would use makeup to, make my skin look clear and I might wear a corset to make myself thinner and push up bra and all that, I would also use Photoshop to, fix the costume if there's something wrong with it, maybe
yeah.
change my eye color or whatever, something like that. I think these are all tools that you use to create the final image that you want. And I think people kind of like there's a common thing where people say like, oh, selfies get so much more attention than like final edited photos, and I think part of that is because people kind of expect those final edited photos to be very edited, whereas a selfie in front of a mirror feels a lot more real. So if you get a really impressive outfit from that, you kind of feel like it's actually impressive and it's not photoshopped to look impressive kind of thing.
Yeah, but so much effort goes into doing it right, don't it? You know what I mean? Like you can do like
Like,
the one I did, that showed you. That's
mm,
like obviously I'm a novice, but it's like 6 hours, and I was really, but because that's again you wanted to get it right, and that's why I kept doing it again. And with all the girls I work with, and with those guys I work with, because you want to improve every single time. And one thing I want to say to you, yeah, is
mm,
when I was going through that steampunk folder you sent me for that thing,
yeah.
I need you to educate me about one thing quickly. Can
Mm,
we do that?
mm,
Right. One of yours was right. You, I think, looking up or something, and you done before and after, top, bottom, and people in the
yeah,
background, yeah, on
yeah,
the boat.
yeah. I was going to mention this,
I have
yeah.
no idea how to get rid of them people. How do you get
uh,
rid of them people?
Clone
Seriously,
stamp tool, basically.
how do
I
you do that? There's no
remade.
room. There's no room to
I,
do it. Like,
huh?
there's no room to do it because sure enough, with clone stamp, by my experience anyway, when I used to do skim and paint and all that rubbish, it's marginal. Like the space was that much in your picture,
Mm.
and the clone stamp. You're about pavement, ain't you? You're on about pave. You're on about using the pavement as reference for the clone screen.
Yeah, either the pavement or like there was bits of the stairs and the boat and stuff. But yeah, you usually have like a tiny bit, and you just have to build it up and make it. And
How can it work that way? How can it?
I mean, for most of it, like there are bits where, for example, so the pavement, for example, it was a uniform pattern, you know, paving slabs that got smaller and darker as they went back in the photo. So if you've got like a lot of the back of it covered with people, you can take the front and then just shrink it, distort it, darken it, and then you have what looks like would be paving slabs at the back. So you don't have to take it from the same place, you know, take something that looks similar and then edit it, as I say, you know, shrink, distort, darken, blur until it looks like it would go where you're trying to put it. And there were bits where, like, for example, where the boat was, it had a tiny little bit of what the boat actually looked like, but it was basically just kind of grey blur. So I just made a big slab of grey, added some noise, blurred it, and that looked basically the same. So I just put that in there.
I didn't know. I sat there and I thought, no, I don't know. Anyway, it don't matter. I don't know how she's done this. And it baffled me so much because it frustrates the hell out of me having people in the background.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another thing that I always do, try and remove distractions from the background, whether it's people or like bright colours in an otherwise monochrome background and sort of patterns that like one bit of the pattern is wrong. So if you've got like a row of lights in the ceiling and one light is off or something, I'd shop that. So just take another light and put it in there, just so because broken patterns distract the eye. So yeah, and faces especially, like even there have been times before when like there's been someone in the background and you barely notice them, but the human eye is attracted to faces, so if you can see their face you get attracted to it. And like sometimes you could just get rid of their face, even if the rest of the body is still there, you just don't notice it anymore. But as long as the face is gone,
weird body with no head.
yeah I've done that before where there was a glass fence with like a pole along the top, and above the fence was no person, but below the fence was a pair of legs.
I couldn't do that.
But it genuinely looked better than having the person there, because unless you're actually looking in the photo for things that might have been photoshopped wrong, you'll never notice it.
There's no sites out there that actually specialise in this thing, is there, exposing people like that, is there? Like you've never come.
There's Photoshop disasters,
but there's no one who like trolls or actually come online to actually tarnish your rep or whatever in that sense.
Well, not me personally, I hope.
Anyone
but Photoshop disasters like take magazine images and find but it's all like professional stuff. I don't think they ever tend to focus like individual.
I asked you I know I got a little bit rushy. I didn't mean to last night about asking about your worst. It's just my head's just like I say, and I just asked so much shit at once. Sorry.
It's all right.
Let's go your three worst. Okay. Should we go from the bottom one? Just briefly explain your 3 worst costumes ever done.
All right. So the worst one was Cheryl Gnome from Across Frontier, because like I didn't make it very well. I really didn't suit the cosplay. Like it was, I was quite big at the time. It didn't look that great on me. It just was an awful cosplay. And like I saw photos and it wasn't very flattering. And I wasn't very good at posing in it.
You're young then.
And
you're just starting then, were you, or what?
No, that was quite a few years into it. I was just awful. And
you didn't feel comfortable, bro, did you, in the outfit?
Huh?
Did you feel comfortable in the outfit though? Did you?
Yeah, I loved it at the time, but then I looked back at the photos and I was like, oh my god, what was I doing? So
that can always mess with your head if you have a little bit of doubt, ain't it?
So I made sure that no photos of that were ever posted anywhere. Luckily this was back before I ever knew any photographers or anything, so like no one else got photos. The only photos were the ones me and my mates took while we were at the convention, so there was no risk of photos of it being posted anywhere. So yeah,
there's one line dormant, like say you become like biggest thing since whatever,
and then someone digs up this old terrible photo and ruins my cosplay career. That would be devastating, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so that
Across Frontier, is that a series, is it? Yeah. Okay.
Huh?
Is that a series?
Across Frontier, yeah, it's an anime.
Okay.
The next one I put was Claire from Pokemon. This one wasn't so bad, it just wasn't very good. Like, some bits of the outfit didn't really work very well. The wig was the worst bit. Like the one photo that I got, again, it was just one like a mate took of me. The wig was falling back and you could see my hair, and it wasn't very good. Um, yeah, she has these like big cuff things on her arms and her legs, and they didn't work, so I had to take them off. And the outfit isn't very detailed, so the moment you start losing bits, it's a very big thing to lose. It's not a small part because there's not actually much to the outfit. And yeah, again, no photos of that, luckily.
For a note, we'll add pictures in here as reference, so people, anyone who decides to want to see this, which I hope they do, can obviously look at it and see. Cause, yeah, all right. And the third one was Din from Legend of Zelda. I don't really dislike this outfit. It was probably just my least favorite of all the other outfits I've done. Like, it was very simple. That was my second outfit. I didn't wear a wig for it, even though she has red hair. We kind of tried spraying my hair with that like Halloween hairspray, and it did not work at all. It was absolutely awful. Hard or something, did it? No?
It just didn't work. It didn't do anything.
Okay, all right.
Did absolutely nothing. And like some of the details didn't quite right. Like she's got little triangles where the ribbons come off of her legs, and they didn't work.
You were very young then. You said 18, 19, weren't you? So
yeah, very young, basically a child at that point. My mum helped me at that point. My first 3 cosplays, my mum helped me with, and she helped me with that one. But I mean, it was just.
Now your top 5, okay? Let's get the good stuff going.
Right. Okay.
Espion, yeah.
Espion, yeah, that one was part of a Sexy Evolutions group that we did, where we all kind of made like belly dancery versions of the evolutions. My favourites, I had the choice. I had one of the first choices. I was one of the first in the group, and I had the choice of Espion or Umbreon. And Umbreon, they're both my favourites, and Umbreon is I like slightly more, but dark outfits are harder to get details of in photographs, so I went for Espion. All right. So yeah, I went for Espion because I thought there was more opportunity for putting more visible details on it, and just spent absolutely ages putting beads and stuff on it.
I appreciate that, but obviously, that like to me that's kind of killing the other one, because you're my favourites. I always told you in the Pokemon games and all that. You have to go for Vaporeon every single time. You have to do it. You should have been like, Vaporeon is my
Vaporeon. Oh, I like Vaporeon, but not my favourite.
Anyway, is it he, ain't it?
Huh?
It's a she, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, they can be either gender.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
There's only a few Pokemon that are only one gender.
Okay, I thought they were. Oh, anyway. Okay. Now, would you like to talk about number 4?
Which one was number 4? Chandelure, another Pokemon. Yeah, that one. So I don't know if you've had a chance to Google it at this point. Chandelure is a ghost Pokemon. It's basically a chandelier. So as one of my friends at work put it, I dressed up as a candle.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not being rude. That's kind of what I thought.
So yeah, and it was just this big gothic-y like black and purple dress, and I love black and purple, and I love having lots of beads and being dark and edgy, so I really liked it.
Oh yeah, don't get me started. It's like dark gothy stuff is awesome, but anyway, it is. But then there's skater stuff on top of that, but anyway, no problem. Alright, and Masquerade Armor from Guild Wars.
Okay, so the top 3,
yes.
I kind of put in an arbitrary order because I can't really decide which I like best out of all of them. So the Masquerade Armor I made because I had to go perform in the Cosplay World Masters, and to do that I had to have an outfit that was from an official design, whereas the outfit I planned to do was a fan art, so I couldn't do that one. So I had to find an outfit that was an official design, and I needed to be able to think of a skit to do with it, and it had to have it had to be good, like detailed and complicated enough that it would be worthy for a competition. So it needed to have fabric work, armor work, details, just kind of lots of stuff like that. And I loved Anela Cosplay's Masquerade Armor that she made. It has for a long time been my favorite of any cosplay that I've seen. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I really love super detailed like fabric based dresses, so it was kind of perfect in that respect. So I gave that a go at making it in like 2 or 3 months, and it the most stressful thing I've ever done, but it was it was good, and I loved the cosplay in the end. Like there were bits that could have been better, but I was really happy with it. I loved wearing it. Still, possibly one of my favorite cosplays.
And that's when you done your poi, right? I got it right this time.
Yes,
Poi.
yes.
There you go. Straight up.
Yeah. So
I've seen
my
a video somehow, and I think it is online, isn't it? Your videos of
yeah,
that.
it's on my
I must have,
page.
I must have seen
That
that like when I first talked to you or something. Cause but
Yeah.
anyway, okay.
That
Fair
so
enough.
the skit I did for that one was kind of split into two halves. There was the poi, which was the second half, and the first half was the whole fighting an invisible enemy thing. And you could totally tell that the very first time I practiced that was when I was on stage
Yeah.
doing it.
See, I
I'd
must.
spent I spent so much time practicing the poi part that I never really thought about the first half, and I got on stage and sort of waved my staff around a bit. I had to take half the outfit off to be able to do the poi because I had to get like all the armor off and the
Yeah.
I think I left the gloves on, but I had to take half of it off to be able to do it, and then yeah, did the poi. The first performance, like there was one mess up with the poi. I hit it against my skirt at one point, but for the most part, it was fine and it went well. So yeah,
You can't set on fire. It's not fire, is it? You said before.
it's an LED ball.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Okay, I was gonna say.
I have done fire poi,
Yeah.
and you kind of struggle to set yourself on fire unless you actually try and choose super flammable outfits.
Yeah,
But
polyester, right? Yeah, PVC.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
so yeah.
Anyway, now let's get on to your originals. No. Well, STDR kind of original. You know what I mean?
Yes, so the Angkorian Mercy was kind of my latest cosplay. I absolutely love it. I love the design. The moment I saw it, I knew I wanted to cosplay it. And yeah, the artist SDDR has been really helpful with providing references and all that sort of stuff. And so it's based on Cambodian traditional dress. I really wanted to try and make it as accurate and like as authentic to the original inspiration as I could, which turned out to be really difficult because all the jewelry is based on actual jewelry that they have over there, and it's like no, even if budget was no,
Yeah.
money no, whatever the phrase is, even if I had an
No
infinite
object.
budget.
No object.
No object, that's the
Yeah,
one.
that's great.
Even if money was no object and I had an infinite budget, you can't get that stuff in the UK. So far as I can tell, I could find nowhere to buy it. You'd have to fly to Cambodia, and I was speaking to someone who does the dance that the whole outfit is kind of inspired by, and she said even in Cambodia you'd have to go to like the specific dance shops and get the stuff. Like it's really hard to get this stuff. So in the end I kind of had to just like buy bits of filigree and jewelry on eBay and make it up from that, which I was a bit sad about, but in the
You
end it
can't buy
worked. And
official stuff online. No, you can't.
it's just not available outside
Really?
of Cambodia apparently, or certainly not this far away from Cambodia.
Excuse me.
You can get a lot of Thai stuff, but it's not Thai, it's Cambodian.
You
So
have to be authentic, don't you? Especially.
yeah, and I mean, on the one hand, I wanted to be authentic, and I was sad that I couldn't. But I don't know. On the other, maybe it's better that it's not exactly the same, and it's more like an inspired by. I don't know, but either way, I couldn't be authentic even if I wanted to. So that was what ended up happening there.
Yeah.
Um,
See, this is
and
why,
yeah,
so,
sorry.
This is why I say how good you are, because a lot of people don't go to that effort. A lot of people just, and there's no problem with them not doing that. But like, you had put your heart in it, don't you? That's the difference. I know a lot of people do, but you do. So it's like, but anyway, I don't want to, butt you up too much. But anyway, okay, all right. And now your top one, well,
Steampunk Mercy.
third.
Yeah, so I kind of put this one at the top just because like it's my own design, so it feels quite special to me. As I said, the top three are all very,
of
very
course,
close to
of
me.
course, yeah.
But so yeah, the Steampunk Mercy was the first Mercy cosplay that I did, and I kind of spent ages trying to decide on a Mercy cosplay, and like none of the skins quite had what I wanted, and I was kind of deciding which one to do. And by that point, there were a lot of really good Mercy cosplays already, so I wasn't quite sure about doing classic. And then a friend of mine, Chapman, LP Cosplay Photography, suggested that I do a Steampunk Mercy, and I thought that was perfect. Like I couldn't believe I hadn't thought about it. So yeah, from then
What,
decided
is that like
to.
a, stable you? Is that part of you, steampunk, like in general?
Yeah, I do loads of steampunk stuff. I've done quite a few steampunk outfits.
Best is it like that's what you love to wear, like normal?
Well, yeah, normally in everyday life.
I don't mean like that, but do you have like me? I always try to wear certain things, but elements of certain styles inside your wear. Is that always, whether it be a necklace, whether it be
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. I've got a lot of like steampunk jewelry that I wear sometimes, and sort of clothes that are like casual steampunk that are sort of unusual in everyday wear, but you can get away with. It's not an actual like corset and bustle skirt. So yeah, I really like trying to incorporate that sort of
Your
stuff.
boyfriend too, is he that type of style as well?
No, he's
Oh.
jeans and
Okay,
nerdy t-shirt or something.
He's a normal bloke.
But I think it is a lot easier for women to have that sort of thing. I think there's a lot more clothes out there for women to kind of customize what they wear. I think it's a lot harder for men.
I think guys get left behind the fashion stakes a lot.
Yeah.
Either a hoodie or a pair of jeans
and
or a t-shirt, or that's it.
Exactly. I think it's more expected for them to wear more basic stuff, and there's less available for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure, I say that as someone who kind of has no experience, so that I'm sure there is stuff out there, but I think it is generally harder from what I've seen.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, yeah, I loved designing it, making it. I absolutely love wearing it. So yeah, I had to definitely put that in my top 3 somewhere.
Before the Glory one, is it one that you said the back went? You had that before the white one, the one I said was really good. The one with the back where it snapped the picture.
The Ancorian Mercy.
No, you had the steampunk before.
Yeah, steampunk came before Ancorian.
No, the other one. The one where the back broke.
Winged Victory Mercy.
Yeah,
the back also broke on Ancorian Mercy, which is why I was thinking of that one. So the order went Steampunk Mercy, Winged Victory, as in the order of making them. Then I made Winged Victory, then Ancorian, and then Pink Mercy. But yeah, Winged Victory was very rushed, and there are a lot of bits on it that I didn't like, which is why it's not on the list.
No, I thought that was your first one. I thought you said that was all.
No, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Now I guess I always try to create 2 halves to this, just to create the cosplay bit and the gaming bit, because that's generally a big thing. So can we talk about games from there on a little bit? Is that
Yeah.
Okay. We'll save Overwatch till later, because I've got all them questions that I want to test your knowledge on, whether you do it or not. I think they're quite basic. Obviously, I was just reading for a weekend, and yeah, the lore actually. I was trying to soak in as much as I could, and I was watching the football and I was doing that, so it was hard. But anyway, okay, alright. I personally feel new games, retro games. I love retro games, and I take that as PS2 from before. That's what I take it, right? Because that's what I grew up loving so much, and I still do to this day. At work we had it, but it was Amy who was trying to do it. So anyway, rubbish, alright. But from that type of generation, talk about. Could you off the top of your head top 3 to 5 games that you played growing up, and let's just briefly talk about that.
Can I say each individual Pokemon game, or should I just say Pokemon as a whole?
That you love, and that's it.
I'll just say Pokemon as a whole for now. I'll say I started with Red and Blue. Well, otherwise my top 5 would all be Pokemon games, and it would be boring. So started with Red and Blue. I probably played Gold the most. I kind of stopped playing around Gen 3 and then got back to it around Gen 4 with the remakes. Played Black and White a lot. But anyway, we're into adulthood at that point.
No, that's fine.
So,
have you still got all them, have you? You've still got all them?
Still somewhere. God knows where.
I'm not being a miser, but they're worth a mint now, don't you? By the way.
Are they, literally at cons you see rows of these old games, and they're they sell for like £1.
You really? Because I've seen different. Because I look at games sometimes.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but
I always You ever heard of Operation Genesis? Do you ever play Jurassic Park?
No.
You didn't play Jurassic Park? Because I bought that as an old Xbox game, and I saw it about 2 years ago, and Xbox games go for £1, and I sold that for like 35 quid. So I'm just saying it's not much. And Stubbs a Zombie and things like that.
I'm looking at an eBay listing now for Pokemon Red, and it's £4. They're all exactly £4.13.
We'll get that dated then. Alright, anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. How about, and can I tell you my top 5 and see if you played it?
Yeah. See if we have anything in common.
Halo 1.
Yeah, never played that.
Never played it?
No.
Oh my god, that is
I never had an Xbox growing up.
Yeah, but sure enough, you know some for an Xbox, don't you? No? You didn't have an Xbox? Oh my god, we actually stayed up.
The only friend I ever had that I went to play on their console was a friend that had an N64 that I went and played.
Okay. That's criminal.
Well, I was mostly a PC gamer. Most of my games were on PC. A few were on PlayStation.
See, I poor, obviously. But anyway, enough of that. But I had one. It was just Championship Manager, but that was really slow. Football game, but don't worry about that. Really, really slow. Really slow. Like it took 4 hours to do like one match sometimes. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And
Sounds painful.
yeah, especially when you buy one and it crashes after every 2 games. You have to reset it and do that. Me and my brother sat through that for like a year, but whatever. Okay.
It's annoying.
Earthworm Jim on Mega Drive. Did you ever play Mega Drive? Earthworm Jim.
I didn't have a Mega Drive.
Yep. Abe's Odyssey on PS1, right?
Huh?
Abe's Odyssey on PS1 or PC. Abe Odyssey, and Mudakan, who yo does all that stuff. And
what was it called? I didn't.
Abe's Odyssey or
Age Odyssey. Never heard of it.
Oh
I'm
my
afraid.
God. Left 4 Dead. Nope.
Left 4
You
Dead.
played it. I know you played it. You told me before. You
I
played
have,
it.
but I didn't think of that as a retro growing up game. How old are you?
No, I'm no. This is my favourite game of all time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking
No,
about games we played growing up.
Right.
I was going to say, like, Left 4 Dead came out a few years ago, didn't it?
No, yeah. Don't worry about that.
Okay, cool.
Dynamite Dark. Do you ever play that? Dynamite Dark?
No.
Vigilante, not 8, the original Vigilante, who used to go around turtles on the NES. Oh my god. But the NES didn't have a save system, did it? So you play all the game, and then you die.
You have to get a password or something.
What?
I played a few games where you had to do the whole password thing.
Oh no, we never had a password. We had to go all the way through the game, me and my sister. But anyway, okay.
Jeez, that's even worse. I thought passwords were bad. I had a Rugrats game on the Game Boy Advance, and you had to have a password.
Yeah. This was This was like 1992.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I'm not one of them nowadays. But seriously, Resident Evil 4. No, you ain't played Resident Evil.
I never played Resident Evil games.
No. Last of Us ain't played that. We've established that, so that's fine. All right. Okay. Any other games you want to?
Well, I never really finished my list of games that I played growing up.
Sorry, I apologise.
So, that's all right. So yeah, I guess Pokemon, The Sims. I played The Sims a hell of a lot. I bought it. It was in like a catalogue at school, and I bought it and played it from The Sims 1 through, like, played The Sims 2 as well a hell of a lot, modded it and all that stuff. I played a Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons on the Game Boy Color. I played them a hell of a lot. What else I play? SSX on the PS2.
Yeah. That's my ultimate dream, to go snowboarding and kayaking and downhill mountain bike riding and all that stuff. Like, I would love to do that more than anything. Snowboarding is just 14 years old in geography trip. I saw a video and it was anyway. That's what's your dream in that respect? Have you got any places you'd love to just go and just?
I want to visit Chernobyl.
Sorry? Yeah.
I want to visit Chernobyl.
Can you go there? I know you can.
Yeah, you can get tours and stuff.
Yeah, I know tours, but you could. No, you can't holiday there. What a dickhead. Sorry.
Well, it would be. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be like a beach holiday. It would be a sort of historic holiday. But yeah, you can make that part of your trip.
You wouldn't take anything there, would you? To like just no, they don't know.
What do you mean? I mean, I'd take a camera.
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean. Like, you can do that. That's not outlawed or anything.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can. Do
Yeah,
that.
I've seen cosplay shoots done there.
Yeah, that's that. Mal, what's his name? The guy
Maul,
who does the guy.
Maul cosplay.
Yeah, that's it. That's that
Yeah.
bloke, and he did a Last of Us one, right?
Yes.
See?
I think it was Last. Yeah, one of the zombie ones.
Yeah, it was Last of Us. I got sent that. When I first talked to Lara, I said to her, "This is my ultimate game. I love it with every piece of my heart." As I've got a mug, that's what I got. But she's hooked me up. She sent me that, and it was just beautiful, and I love it. Anything related to that game is just anything. But yeah, it was beautiful shot. But carry on. Yeah.
What was I saying? Games that I played. What else did I play? I played Tomb Raider 2 a lot. Played a little bit of Tomb Raider 1, but not as much. I definitely. I played Star Wars Pod Racer so much. It wasn't even that good a game, but I played it a lot.
Like where you were staying up to like 5 in the morning before school and stuff like that.
Probably. I would get up 2 hours earlier to play The Sims.
How can you do that? Get up earlier because it's not.
I was better at getting up earlier than I was going to bed later.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be enough. 2 hours. You know, subconsciously 2 hours ain't enough, and you're going to want a third, and you're going to want a fourth.
I couldn't get up any earlier than 2 hours early. That wasn't going to happen. I also got up early to play Guild Wars. So this was like late teens, but I played a lot of Guild Wars, and There was this particular thing that you had to do to get one of the achievements. Basically, you'd set up your character like doing a certain thing, and then you'd come back like 8 hours later, and then kill the enemies and get like 10 XP, and then you do the same the next day, and you'd have to get to the max level doing that.
Yeah. I could never get the hang of that. I played a game called Vagrant Story. You ever heard of it?
No.
Oh god. I waited for that for like 6 months. That game, my mate Steve, I did, and anyway, that did that, and I couldn't get any of it. But anyway, all right. Can I show you a couple and see if you've played any of these?
Yeah, sure. Crash Bandicoot, it's that.
Boom, boom, is it? Wait,
I haven't played it, I'm afraid.
No, nor have I. Anyway. You had a PS1, right?
I did, but the only game I had on it was Tomb Raider 1.
Really?
The PS1 I got after the PS2 because it was my parents bought one of those cars that had TVs in the back of the headrests.
Oh.
So we could like watch TV and play games. And that had the PS1.
Do you want to see the most underrated game in the history of any game on any platform? It is
Yeah?
this thing right here. You ever heard of that? Moho.
No, I've never heard of it.
That's what it's about. If you can see that at all, I'm trying to get in.
Just about.
It's about basically your robots in a chamber, and you have to go up half pipes, and you have to shoot each other and all like that. But I found out in my dad's recently, and it's the most underrated game ever. It's really good. Dino Crisis, no? Like Resident Evil. Simpsons Wrestling, the worst.
I played Hit and Run. That was the one Simpsons game I played, but not the wrestling one.
Never play this game ever. Like,
okay.
It is the biggest. It costs like 40 quid, and the graphics are just terrible. And you have 3 buttons on it, and that's it. Prince of Persia.
I played,
Oh yeah.
well, Sands of Time recent. I played it when the film came out because I thought, I want to see the film, but I should play the game first. And then I never finished the game, and I never watched the film. So that's how that went.
The film's not great. Jake Gyllenhaal's quite
Yeah.
fat in it, so don't worry. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he's really good in Zodiac and things. Alright, I'm saving that to last. Lego Star Wars. Okay.
Never. Oh no, I did play a Lego game. It was the game where you build things out of Lego. It wasn't like a Lego Star Wars or Lego Batman or anything like that. It was literally just you play with Lego.
Expensive, I'm sorry. Mario.
Never played Mario games.
Okay, let's take that one. And let's just go a bit of Rayman. No?
I did play Rayman. I can't remember which one, but I played one of the Rayman games, and I got really into it, and I stopped playing because I couldn't figure out how to get past one enemy. It wasn't even a boss or anything. It was literally just a random enemy. I couldn't get past him, and I stopped playing.
Yeah, well, I'm playing. What am I playing? Horizon Zero Dawn right now, and that's yeah. I'm kind of like that myself right now. I've been putting it off for like 2 weeks, but obviously I have a deep-seated desire to have a film made by my name on it, and this. You ever seen that movies on a PC?
I think I've seen pictures of. I recognise that logo, but I've never played it.
Work on anything below like 2002, which is very frustrating, yeah, because I can't work it on my computer. But you create actors, you create a script, you create lighting, you create studios, everything, and you make the whole. And it's excellent. It's so good, and you need to. Anyway, don't worry. All right, now. Let's see if you're either shamed or. Wait a minute. Let me get the pictures. Alright, let me get. Hey, no, where are we? Oh god. Wait a minute. Give me a sec. Yeah, I've got quite a few. Let's see if you. That thing in the background behind you. Let's see if that's either going to be embarrassed or going to be happy with your answers. Then yeah. Should we go?
Okay.
Okay. Alright. Trying to get you in shot properly. Yeah.
Do you want me to sit up a
you're
bit?
Fine. You're fine. It was just below your. Are you okay with ages? Do you know their ages?
The Overwatch
Let's
characters.
start this right. Overwatch is with DemoraFairy. Simple. Done?
Okay. Here we go.
I'll pick some random characters, and if you do know their ages, tell me. If you don't, you have to pass. All right. Let's start with that.
Okay.
Okay. Hanzo.
38.
Got it. Well done. Reaper.
Oh, well, for ages we didn't know. I think he's 58. We were only told this like a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because for ages his age was this huge like question that we didn't know. And then we only found out that we were shown a debriefing message from him and it was set 8 years ago, and it said he was 50. So yeah, but for ages we didn't know.
Let's go Mercy then, yeah?
Oh, 37.
Yeah, Widowmaker?
33.
Yeah, okay, let's do no right. Alright, okay. Let's go some more questions, deal? Yep, alright, okay.
Mhm.
What's the inspiration between McCree's Revolver? What game?
I said lore stuff, not like development stuff. I have no
Okay.
fucking clue.
Oh, really? Okay. Half-Life 2 anyway. Okay, that's
Okay.
Do you know what Hanzo's Ultimate is known by the development team?
I know that it was like the flying caterpillars at one point because, yeah, it looked like a caterpillar because it was made of dots.
May's original name, do you know that?
Frostbite.
Okay, well done, good. Okay, I'm trying to... Getting all these right, ain't ya? Okay. Alright, so in the previous version of the Overwatch game, the character called the Ranger, right? You ever heard of him? Oh, sorry.
Is this when it was
Titan.
Titanfall
Titan.
or whatever it was called? Was it just Titan?
Yeah, Titan.
What am I thinking? Is there another game called
Yeah, it's
Titanfall?
about a big mech thing, kind of like DBA with that, and you kind of just play within that thing and you control it, you know. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I know very little about Titan, and I've looked at like the artwork and kind of read a little bit about the inspiration for the existing characters, but not very much.
Okay, I'll try to keep with lore, but it's hard for me because I don't have a clue really what I'm doing. So, where is Winston from then? You must know that.
The moon.
Okay, let's... Who was the original leader of Overwatch? Am I...
Soldier 76. Jack Morrison.
Right?
No, he was the leader of Blackwatch.
When I saw they done a 30-minute countdown, right? Explain everything. And
Right.
they said it was him because they had him.
I guess before Overwatch, when it was just the 6 original members, I think he was kind of the leader.
Yeah,
but it was
because he got peed off basically
because Jack got chosen to be the leader over him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could by that definition say that he was the leader of Overwatch.
Oh, I just All right, that's the 7 founding members of it then. Okay.
There were 6, weren't there? Anna, Torbjorn, Reinhardt, Jack, Gabe, Leo, something like that.
Any idea who it is apparently? No.
Yeah, we don't know. We literally know his name.
Nothing. Yeah. I've got Reyes, Morrison, Gerard Lacroix, Sherborne, Linton.
Gerard? He wasn't an original member, was he?
I don't know. My notes say otherwise.
I'm pretty sure Gerard was not an original member. It was those 6. Gerard is too young to be an original member. Overwatch was founded 30 years ago.
I'm going to give you this video, right? And I'm going to give you a contact information. And I'm going to say...
You do that? Yeah, I'm interested.
They're giving people false information. People like me who don't play the game but are trying to look like they're professional about all this. This ain't right. Okay. Right. What are the surviving residents of Australia in Overwatch called? Because they gave a part of the land to Omnix, right?
The Junkers?
Australian Liberation Front.
But there's loads of people in Australia that aren't in that.
I just got...
I mean, only half of Australia got, like, blown up.
Yeah.
Most of Australia is still, like, fine.
Yeah, but then there was a part given to the robots, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
And then the apparent by this guy who I listened to online told me the Australian Liberation Front, including Roadhog, decided to go after that. And anyway, don't worry.
Yeah, they did. That happened. But that was only a bit of Australia. That was like the outback. There's still like Sydney and the cities and stuff, which are the same as ever.
Aren't they called the Australian? I don't know.
No, it's only like they're like rebels that had their homes taken from them. But like, there are people that are just perfectly normal people living in the cities and bits that weren't omnicized.
Okay. Right. I'm slightly worried about this not being recorded. You know that I'm really scared about that. Anyway, all right. Let's do. Can I take you 3 more minutes? Is that okay?
Yeah. I'm enjoying these questions, so keep going.
All right. Sorry, I was getting one coming in. Alright, right, let's go to the first one. These, right, lore facts, alright, that's where I should have started. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Who did current Doomfist holder a candy? Can you hear me? Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, alright. Who did current Doomfist holder a candy Ogundimi kill to claim it?
His previous mentor.
Called
I can't remember his bloody name. He was the old Doomfist. I don't remember his name. I can't even remember Doomfist's name. Every time I try to say it, I'm like, Akande. Oh god, I can't remember what it is. It was his previous mentor, the previous Doomfist.
Apparently his name is Akinjidi Adeyemi, yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it with my English.
I'm really bad at remembering those sorts of names that I'm not very good at it.
It's a foreign language, ain't it? I'm not being funny. Okay. Alright, 2. What is the name of this might not be Russian, guys. What is the name of the Genji skin available as promotion for players who also play Heroes of the Storm? Do you play it?
Oh my god, which one? It was because I think they then eventually let everyone have it. They let everyone have Officer Diva. I think so, and everyone got very angry. They were like, I had to play this terrible game for ages, and now everyone's got the damn skin. Yeah. Which one was it? Oh my god. I can't even think what skins he's got now.
It begins with O, I'll tell you that.
Oni Genji, of course.
There you go. Bang on. Alright, okay. Number 3. A minute. What is the name of McCree's revolver?
Peacemaker. Peacekeeper. One of those two.
Peacekeeper 6 shooter, but Peacekeeper.
I think Peacemaker is the one that Caitlyn has in League of Legends. Or maybe hers is Peacekeeper as well. I don't remember.
What's McCree's gang called? What was he called?
His gang. Deadlock Gang.
Deadlock Gang. Alright, what is the name of the tattoo around Farah's right eye called?
It's not Horus. Horus is Anna, I think. Or is it Horus? Horus is Anna.
No, what do you think?
Some Egyptian word.
What are you thinking then?
I don't remember. I only remember Horus, which I think is her mum's tattoo.
So is Horus your answer?
No, I'm pretty sure Horus is Anna. But it's the only word I can think of, so let's go for Horus.
The answer is Wedja, Eye of Horus. No.
Huh. Maybe they both have a Horus one. Or maybe I'm completely wrong.
This one's called the Wedja, apparently, but it's
okay.
called the Eye of Horus. Anyway, okay. Farah served an officer in the Egyptian army, but after leaving took a job in security. What was the name of the security firm called?
Helix Security.
Yeah, and what was their purpose?
To guard things. They had to guard the site where the God program was stored in Anubis. They had to. I don't think she does it directly, but Helix Security guards the prison that Doomfist broke out of as well. Something like that.
Contracted to protect an AI facility below the Giza Plateau. That's what it's
yeah, that's the AI is the God program.
Okay, fair enough. All right, that's okay. What are Reaper's guns called?
Hellfire shotguns.
Where is Winston's lab?
Gibraltar. Watchpoint Gibraltar.
I thought I would get that. I thought you wouldn't get that, but now I've looked at the video and everything is referencing Gibraltar. It's like such a small place. Like, you know, wait a minute, okay. What is the location that Jack Morrison was apparently buried at after destruction of the headquarters? Do you know that?
Oh, that's it. I didn't know that. We knew that. Well, I'm gonna guess either Switzerland, which is where the headquarters was, or where did he grow up? Mississippi? I don't think that was it. I can't remember where he grew up. It was one of the states that has nothing in it because he was like a farmer.
Arlington National Cemetery, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Okay, apparently.
Fair enough.
Alright. In the short animation Infiltrator, what is the name of the location that Reaper and Widowmaker infiltrate?
Volskaya Industries.
Yeah. Volskaya, yeah, okay, got it. Alright. What is Tracer's girlfriend called?
Emily.
That was new, wasn't it? Apparently, that was quite new, wasn't it?
That was like last year. Right. It was Christmas last year.
Oh, was it? Alright.
What, last year now?
What was the jet? Because obviously she was a test pilot, she got in the jet.
What?
Tracer.
Oh, the Slipstream.
Yeah, we jumped ahead. So, what is the device called that Winston created to...
The chronal accelerator.
Okay, these are probably... I don't know if they just stand on.
So some of them are really like basic stuff like chronal accelerator and where is Winston's that, but then like where was Jack Morrison buried? That's like super obscure.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been lucky then because I watched so much stuff. It was just crazy.
Keep going. I'm enjoying it. Keep going.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, that's number 14. But what was her condition called? And I'll go back to 13. Then what is the condition?
It was like chronal dissociation.
Bang on. There you go. Perfect. What was the Omnic monk that Widowmaker shot in the head called?
Mondata.
What's his first name?
Takata.
Yeah.
I think that's actually like a title, because Zenyatta is also Takata, or is he Takata Zenyatta, something like that. But I think it might. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how Nepalese monks work.
I just didn't want to say that I'm professional.
Yeah.
I wrote down what I could. Bastion's bird.
Ganymede.
What is your opinion of Bastion anyway, quickly? Because I hear a lot of people think he sucks. Is it,
like gameplay wise?
Anything. I think a lot of people say the character sucks. What I've heard anyway. No?
I think he's great.
I like him.
I mean, there's only so much characterization he can get because he's like a speechless robot, but he's certainly, for what we've got of him, he's interesting.
Oh, is he? Okay. I put, why was Hanzo instructed to kill his brother Genji? You have to answer because I've got zero answer down here. I didn't.
Oh, I mean, basically because Genji was sleeping around and drinking and partying and being a general dishonor to the clan, and they wanted him to straighten his life out and to take responsibility and start leading the clan like he should do after their father died. Like the elders were trying to get him to be part of the clan because his father always like defended him and let him do what he wanted, and he refused. And eventually they were like, "Well, just get rid of him. He's just a pain in the ass." So he did.
Why can't you just have fun and do it at the same time, or do it?
Because it was partly because he was probably like didn't bring dishonor to the clan. You know, people. They weren't going to be such a threat if he was like pissing about all the time. He was probably a threat in that, like, if he got drunk and, you know, told someone the clan secrets or something. If he got someone pregnant, especially because depending on exactly what the dragons are, that could be like really bad.
So why did he have to do it himself then? Why couldn't they just send? Why did they have to get?
Well, it's interesting. If you read their lore, then it kind of describes the situation differently. So Genji's lore says that his refusal sent Hanzo into a rage and Hanzo killed him, whereas Hanzo's lore says that Hanzo was forced to kill him by the elders. So, I mean, kind of who knows? The truth is probably like a little bit of both. We know that the two of them, or like certainly now, like don't get along. Hanzo's very bitter towards him, so it's probably a little bit like Hanzo's the leader. It's his responsibility. It's his brother. Like he's the one that has to take care of it, and we know that Hanzo was pretty pissed off at Genji for what he was doing. So, yeah.
What type of plan did Junkrat and Roadhog design to get revenge on the Queen of Junkertown?
What did they?
Sorry, what type of plan did they conspire or design?
Oh, they were gonna pretend that they were sneaking gold and treasure and stuff into Junkertown, get it all the way to the Queen's treasure room, and there were bombs hidden inside, and they were going to blow the whole thing up. In what?
Yeah.
What was in what? The bombs?
It said a Trojan horse plan, right?
Oh, okay. I mean,
right?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is, but that wasn't like an official name for it.
Okay, fair enough. Cure bombs, normal job then.
Currently or in the past?
I don't know, I'm afraid. I've just...
weapons engineer?
Yeah, good one. There you go. What was Chewbong's deep-seated fear that ultimately come true? Was just
that Terminator would come true. He didn't want the Omnics to rise up and fight humanity.
Awesome. What's Widowmaker's rifle called?
Widow's Kiss.
Okay, well done. Good. What was her proficient? Sorry, what was she proficient at? Dancing?
Ballet dancer.
Okay. She's French, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What happened to turn her skin blue?
Her heart was slowed down so that she'd be a better sniper. Okay, she was kidnapped, brainwashed,
No, that's fine.
reprogrammed.
She had a physiology hours slow down her heart rate. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The South Korean army developed automated battle mechs deployed in a task force called what?
Mecha.
Are you smart enough to say what that means?
Well, it's an acronym MEKA.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what it stands for.
Anyway, but if you want to show off a little bit, you can kind of.
I don't know what it stands for.
Mobile Exo Force of the Korean Army. All right. Yeah.
Cool.
Apparently. DVA's real name?
Diva, and it's Hannah Song.
Diva. Sorry. How old is Orisa?
Like a month.
Yep.
Kind of depends how time flows in the Overwatch universe compared to the real one, because there's hints that time is like passing in their universe at the same rate as ours, because some of the stuff says like, oh, a month ago this happened, and a month ago is like when that event happened, but then like nothing has happened in the story for 2 years.
Oh, no.
So who knows? But yeah, we'll go with a month.
Why do you think that is though? Do you think they just got lazy, or do you think they just have nothing to do? Or they're working on something else?
I've seen a lot of sort of conspiracy theories that it's because they don't want to piss off fans, because people get very attached to their own headcanons, and then like when all the Gensey hints started becoming canon, it made a lot of people very angry, and so people are now saying they don't want to release new story because they don't want to make people angry.
And what, I don't get what you mean though. What?
So
Sorry.
So you know shipping, right? Like wanting two characters to get together.
Oh right, okay, yep.
So a lot of people really shipped Mercy and Farah, and then there started being hints for Mercy and Genji getting together, and all the pharmacy shippers, the people that ship Mercy and Farah, some of them got very angry. Like the writer got death threats and stuff. So the theory goes that they don't want to release new story because they don't want to piss off their fans. Whether or not that's true is another matter.
It's always grabbing any media form, ain't it? But anyway, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay.
I think it's particularly bad for Overwatch right now because they leave it so long between adding new stuff that people kind of have time to get very attached to their theories, and then...
Yeah, exactly, they make up their own stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
What was the battle called that Reinhardt lost his left eye in?
The battle for Eichenwald?
Yep, there you go. What is the stuff inside Roadhog's NOS canister called?
Oh god, I didn't know that had a name. Drugs, I don't know.
Hogdrogan, apparently.
What is it?
Hogdrogan.
Oh, cool.
That's what I got told, anyway.
I'm sure it is. I didn't know that it had a name.
Right? Yep.
It what?
Lets himself heal, apparently.
Yes, yes. Okay. Ridiculous amounts of healing. Sickening amounts of healing.
So is Roadhog a really bad character to use, like, because...
It's really hard to kill him because he can heal so much.
But he's a big guy, ain't he? So I bet you just quite...
I mean, he's meant to be hard anyway because he's a tank,
yeah,
but
totally.
he kind of heals a lot more than any other tank.
Alright. What was the name of Winston's mentor, you know?
Winston. Harold Winston.
Yeah, well... Sorry, it is. Threw me off there for a minute. I thought you were taking it to be honest, a little bit. Sorry, I thought you were like correcting me again.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just the way I sometimes I thought that's what you know. During a hostage rescue, who was believed to have killed Anna?
Widowmaker.
Yeah, because she hesitated, right? Weren't it?
Yeah, because Anna didn't know who it was.
Right,
yeah.
Who was the What was the operation called in Istanbul that Reinhardt saved Kjorborg's life?
Did it have a name?
Apparently.
Jesus.
Yeah. See, that's the problem. If you have to sit through like a million videos, then
yeah.
as a crash course, then you bloody.
Sure, it did have a name, but I don't remember what it was. I just know that it was a mission with Anna and Emre, but that's all I know.
Who's Emre?
The guy that they went on the mission with. That's literally all we know about him. He's just a random name that they chucked in there.
Was that bloke who died on the throne or something, wasn't it? And you had like Reinhardt's commander or something. He died on.
No, that was a different time. That was before he joined Overwatch.
Oh, was it? Okay. It's called Operation. Sorry. Do you want me to tell you? Yep.
Yeah, what was it called?
Operation White Dome, apparently.
Oh God, see, I was going to say that, but I thought that was a fan thing. The only time I thought I ever saw White Dome used was in a fan art, but maybe that was reference from a real thing.
I don't know. Apparently, that's what they.
I gotta find out.
You get Google it in front just to prove it.
Yeah, it is legit. I only ever saw that
You know, right? See,
in a bit of fan art, so I thought that was fan made.
you've taught me like 100 things, or a million things. I can teach you 2 things. All right. So, Hog Drogon and White Dome. Anyway, okay. What is the name of the corporation that redeveloped Rio with curfews and
Fish car.
Fish car, there you go. What is the? If you don't get this, then seriously, you are going to be hate. You may
What is it going to be? What's the name of the game?
No. You need to just give up cosplay forever, okay?
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
Give it up forever. What is the name of Mercy's staff?
Cadia staff.
Cadia staff.
Cadicius? I don't know how you pronounce it. I thought it was Cadius.
Caduceus. I don't know how to pronounce.
Cadicius? In my head, I've always pronounced it Cadius, but clearly there's an extra syllable in there somewhere.
I'm kind of asking you again what it is, but yeah. Okay.
I mean, it is. I should know. It is a word. It's not like they've made it up, but.
No, but see why I said you had to get that right.
Yeah. Well, clearly I'm giving up cosplay now.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You got it right. I told you, you got it right.
Just about. Slight mispronunciation.
Caduceus. No.
Caduceus, yeah, something like that.
I don't think us English are very good at pronouncing stuff like that.
Especially when we leave out entire syllables.
Yeah. Weird. See, people think we're posh and we're really not. Like, we're really not. Like that girl in Australia who does it. No. Anyway, after Overwatch disbanded, Moira was hired by whom? The first person.
Talon.
It says Ministries.
Who? What?
Ministries.
Ministries?
Yeah.
Ministries of what? What?
I've got
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know. Ask the guy in the
I know she was hired in Oasis. I don't know if Ministries is
You can.
something else.
If you please move on, fair enough. But once again, you need to contact this bloke on the video, and you tell him he's talking.
Oh yeah, okay, they're the governing body of Oasis. I knew she was hired in Oasis,
Oh,
but I
is it?
didn't know that it was
Okay,
called
fair enough.
Ministries.
Alright, okay. Next one?
Though rumour has it that she might have been hired by Talon before, so who knows?
Nicest way, right? I don't play it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I played one game with Sombra. I did, and obviously, like I said, I had to give it up because my brother turned it off basically. But I didn't know. But
To be honest, playing it wouldn't help. There's very little story actually in the game.
yeah, but I mean, like, maybe I could say to you, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know anyway, but yeah, okay. The only character in game who has has 2 ultimate abilities.
Symmetra. Soon to change.
You're not googling these answers I talk to you, are you?
I am so quick at typing, mate. You wouldn't know. Yeah, they're reworking her, so she's going to be back down to 1 ult very soon.
Is that because people are getting peed off a bit? Is it?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, she was always put in support, and people said she wasn't a support, so they're making her like actually DPS now.
DPS, what's that?
Damage per second, just a damage character rather than support or tank.
Okay, fair enough. Alright. What's the name of the city built in India using Visca's hard light technology?
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't know there was one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, I'll spell it to you and pronounce it how you want.
Okay.
It's kind of like Utopia, but Utopaea.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't realise that was Vishka.
Apparently. Yeah. What condition is Symmetra widely considered to have?
Autism. She's not widely considered to have it. She has it. But yeah, I think there was a point.
You know what I mean?
There was a point where we didn't know if she had it or not, so that might be an old video.
What condition does Symmetra have then? Okay. What are the floating orbs around Zenyatta called?
Oh, I didn't know they had names either. I know that they're made by the monks in the Nepal monastery, but I didn't know they had names.
Orbs of destruction.
Oh, well then there's also Orb of Harmony.
Maybe.
I mean, that's what it's called, Orb of Destruction and Orb of Harmony.
Yeah,
But I didn't.
that's
That's like one orb that he uses in game on people. I don't think that's a generic name for all of the orbs. That's the name of one of his abilities. He can use the Orb of Destruction, which increases damage done to the person who uses it on, or Orb of Harmony, which heals the person.
fair enough. Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. Maybe they are all called it because he
I don't
lobs
know.
them at
I really
people.
don't
But
know.
I fair enough.
Oh no. Sorry. Anyway, what was the order of Omnic monks called that Zenyatta was a part of?
Shimbali.
Yeah. What are the toys called that appear throughout various Overwatch maps?
What? Oh, Pachimari.
Is that how you pronounce it? Is it Pachimari? Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I guess if you want to be authentic, it would be Pachimari.
No, I don't know. I'm asking. Alright, what's the quote that Harold Winston gives to Winston when they're looking out on the Earth?
Is that the one that just don't see the world for what it appears to be, see the world for what it could be?
You never accept the world as it appears to be,
Oh.
dare to see what it could be. Yeah. It's really good though in a way because, you know, you always want to expect anyway, don't know. Okay, Hanzo main is a term generally used as an insult, but what have they created in Brazil to counter this?
The cult of Hanzo.
Yeah, okay, and what day of the week can you request off then?
I don't know.
Tuesday, for religious reasons. And what term are you forbidden to use in the Church of Hanzo?
Is it Hanzo main?
Yeah. And what's the baptism? What's the one thing you have to do to get in it?
Kill your brother? I don't know. I mean, that's what Hanzo did. He killed his brother.
Alright, I doubt they'll do that, but you just right.
Oh, they're not taking it seriously enough then.
Okay.
What is it? What do they have to do?
On Overwatch, or if you can't afford to do that, you have to play Paladin. Is that like the
I see.
Yeah? Okay. What did May's original concept art display her as?
A lot thinner.
No,
I mean, she was. Well, if we think about the same picture, she was more like a explorer she had like a hook and like a big like tank on her back.
Alright. What about Rolo? What about purpose then? Like engineer or weapons maker?
I think she was an explorer, wasn't she?
She was a bounty hunter, it said.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I just go. I don't know. Alright. Which character is the only one whose voice actress does her in two different languages? Sorry.
Symmetra? No, loads of them do them. Oh, is it like they do the actual language for like that dub of the game as well?
They do the voice of that character in two separate languages in terms of around the world. You know what I mean? Variations of it.
I didn't know any of them were allowed to do that. Which one is it?
Widowmaker.
Oh, that's cool. Because I saw an interview where one of them was moaning about I think it was Gaku Space, Genji's voice actor, was saying he wanted to do the Japanese voice of Genji, but they wouldn't let him because it was too expensive. So they hired a different one. So I thought it would be the same for all of them.
What does he do? The English one? Does he do the English version?
Yeah, but he also speaks Japanese. So he wanted to do the Japanese voice for Genji, but they wouldn't pay him.
Well, sure enough, it makes more sense to pay him double because, you know, like not double because he'd probably.
Well, it was cheaper to hire a different Japanese voice actor than it was to hire him again.
Okay, I get you. Don't make a bit of sense. American and French version that was anyway. I don't know. Do you know Widowmaker's voice bird in American? Like, sorry, voice. Lady.
Your voice bird. I don't know her name off the top of my head. It's like Coral something, maybe something beginning with C.
I don't know her name.
I'm not sure. I'm going to find out.
So you can go in.
Chloe Hollings.
Chloe Hollings. All right. So you can go to Netcon. You can say two things that a lot of people don't know now, innit? So three things actually. Who's the only character who never shows his face in the game?
Roadhog.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. All right. This is development as well, but
All right, see how it goes.
Yeah, sorry. Which character did design team say was the hardest to design out of every single person? Yeah. I'll give you 3 guesses, right? Make it easy, because that's not really...
All right, I'll guess. I will first guess Winston.
Bang on. Well done.
Yay!
And they say because the amount of armour they has on him, and the 2 separations, one in rage mode and one in normal mode, which was very, very difficult to make. So
Fair enough.
Sorry, that's a bit bothered for this. Alright, what's the tattoo that Zarya? That's
Yeah,
the Russian,
Zarya,
right?
yeah.
Has on her left shoulder, and what does it represent? What's the meaning of
It's
it?
the maximum amount that she's lifted,
And do you know
isn't
what
it? Oh, I can't remember.
Guess? No? Is it what?
I can't even remember what unit it's in, so I probably get it wildly wrong.
512. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Where did she get her extremely heavy Tesla cannon from?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know we know this. I know that it's like meant to be a car-mounted weapon, I think, and she's strong enough to just carry it. Did she just get it from like the Russian army or something?
Kinda. It says from a tank that was attacking Russia, right?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Pulse cannon. No, Tesla cannon said to her, yeah. Okay. Who's the only character to have their voice actress recast?
Mercy.
Yeah. Why is that? Do you know?
Other one wasn't good enough, I assume.
Oh God, 1 sec. My dog's just opened the door. He always does that. Anyway, sorry.
It's alright.
But, where is Genji's adopted home? Where is Genji's adopted home?
Nepal.
Yeah.
The Shimbali Monastery.
That's, I guess. Alright, yep. What movie is Zenyatta's Hello Emo generally considered a reference to?
Zenyatta's Hello what?
Emo. He does this, apparently, or something.
He does that, doesn't?
Yeah, he does that.
I didn't know it was a reference. What is it?
Big Hero 6, apparently.
Oh, cool.
I've never seen it either. Have you seen it?
No.
No. I know it was about some big... Who built Horizon Lunar Base facility on the moon?
Oh, I was reading this just the other day. It's some company. I can't remember the name.
You're getting
The ones
tired,
that the ones that sponsored the whole experiment on all the apes. I don't know the name.
You get tired.
I don't know the name.
You look like you're getting tired there, like, oh my god, I want to...
No, I'm just annoyed because like I was reading it just the other day, but I can't remember what it was.
Liu Chang Interstellar. Right, okay. Alright, what's the name of the factory where Omnics were made?
Omnium.
Yep, well done. We're nearly there, alright, okay. I told you I got so much, I was really...
I'm enjoying it, keep going.
Writing, because I love writing so much, it's beautiful. How many years from now, apparently, did the Omnic crisis meant to have happened?
60? No, wait, Omnic crisis.
Yeah.
It's like about 30 years?
It's exactly 30 years. So
yeah.
Alright. The name of the giant mechs built to face the Omnics by Russia, what were they called?
I didn't know they had names. What is it? Maybe this is what I didn't know because I saw it written down and thought, I can't pronounce that, and just carried on reading.
Sviatigors or something, yeah?
Oh, cool.
Sviatigors. Yep.
Cool.
Sviatigors or something. It sounds Russian anyway, to be honest. You know.
Probably Russian.
What was the Germans' method of defence against the Omnics?
I really wanted you to say defense against the dark arts. I've been watching Harry Potter recently. The German method of defense against the Omnics, the Crusaders?
Yep, Crusader armor, is that okay?
Okay, yeah.
In Mexico, the fallout in darkness after the Omnic crisis was called what? Can you pronounce
I don't know.
La Mianaki, the midnight. Yeah.
I see.
Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah. What did the third Doomfist become part of within Talon after he mentored his murder? He murdered his mentor.
Yeah, he mentored the murder. Sorry, ask the question again. What did Doomfist become
God.
part of? The inner circle?
Sorry, okay. I'll speak English now. So, what did the third Doomfist become part of within Talon after murdering his mentor?
The inner circle?
In a
No?
council of leadership.
Oh, inner council. Same thing.
Hey, really, is it? Come on.
Close enough.
Am I joking? I didn't want to speak too soon. What in England did Roadhog and Junkheart steal?
It's late. It's all right.
I have to wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. Sorry, you played it right.
Oh God.
Anyway, what in England did Roadhog and Junkrat steal?
What in England was that?
They're on a bike, apparently. I saw a freeze frame of a picture.
Oh, I know they found some treasure, but I didn't know as in they found something really valuable in the Omniums.
Stole something from England. What do you think?
The crown. I don't know.
The crown jewels.
Hey!
It's generally the only thing we've got to sell, let's be honest.
We've got nothing else here.
No, we ain't. We've got Harry Kane, but anyway, sorry, no, can't. Do you even know who Harry Kane is? Oh my God, really? The best footballer in England. Alright, shut up, Rob. Okay, alright.
Thought that was David Beckham.
What?
Thought that was David Beckham. He's the only footballer I've heard of.
Wow, really? Wow, okay. Okay, alright. I'll forgive you. Anyway, in what country was the Overwatch headquarters based?
Switzerland.
What is the name of the act that calls any Overwatch act illegal?
The Petrus Act.
Petrus Act. Well, there's 2 more left. Sorry. What is Winston's computer AI called?
Oh, it's Athena.
Athena. Alright. Who are the 3 heroes who stopped Doomfist in his second coming?
Tracer, Genji, and Winston.
Well done. And that's all I could give you, believe me, you know.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's nice. I didn't want this one to be just first one again, because, you know, I feel like, you know, I've known you a little bit more since then. So anyway, you know. Yeah, I ain't got anything else, sorry. Well, thank you so much. Alright, like, really, again, like, you know how much you do for me, and I can't help it but say that so many times. But, you know.
That's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, cool. Well, I hope it recorded and everything.
I'm dreading pressing this button off, I really am.
Well, let me know if it works.
Seriously, I'm going to be so peed off if it don't.
Alright.
But this is good stuff, you know what I mean? To me, this is really good stuff, because you're really good, and the subject matters, you know, you associate it, and it's nice for me to do this, you know, so, yeah. Thank you. Alright, I'll let you go now and get some sleep or dinner or whatever you're blooming got to do, because I've took up an hour and a half of your day, and cheers.
Alright, see ya.
See you later. Thank you.